$250 million in rookie jersey sales for Shedeur Sanders, which means he's going to commission $14 million. He only made $4.6 million from his rookie contract. So he's already made more than most second, third, whatever rounders. This is a sign for anybody out there that feels like they've been done wrong. You are always going to end up on the right side if you are a good person.
What if I told you that NFL owners were sweating through their boat suits after a rookie landed a huge jersey deal? Yes, it is correct. With a $250 million prime equity power move, Shedeur Sanders recently cracked the matrix. Billionaires are now freaking out like it's Black Monday. Forget about touchdowns. This young person is completely changing the business concept. Is a quarterback who bargains like a Fortune 500 CEO ready for the NFL? Fasten your seatbelt. It's more than simply a transaction. It's a takeover.
His jersey, according to Fanatics, is the best-selling jersey in his draft class. So what do you guys think about that?
Shedeur Sanders is going to be one of the richest quarterbacks ever. Prime equity from $250 million earned from his jersey sale. A lot of y'all said, Cap, that's a lie.
A 21-year-old quarterback unexpectedly unleashed a $250 million financial bomb on their meticulously built merchandise empire while NFL owners were going about their own wealthy business, drinking expensive wine, and relaxing on yachts shaped like their egos. Cue chaos. Q is terrified. Someone yells, "Get Jerry Jones on the line."
Tell the truth. Does this surprise you guys that Shedeur Sanders, pick number 144, is now the best-selling jersey of the draft class?
No, and this is why he's going to be a Cleveland Brown. I think he's going to be on the roster no matter what. Because at the end of the day, I do think he has a safe floor at quarterback, but those type of things, moving the needle, moving dollars around and being relevant as a franchise, that's what you want as an owner.
Well, Jim.
Wearing a velvet robe and shades, Shedeur Sanders just pulled off the business equivalent of stiff-arming every NFL ownership club. Additionally, he didn't use touchdowns to accomplish this. He used equity instead of pay, bonuses, or performance incentives like $50,000 for blinking 3 times in a row. The number because he owns the nameplate, the stitching, and the logo positioning. Shedeur has equity in his own jersey line.
Did you have a good time at the rookie premiere event? Did you get a chance to catch up to Trav?
Yeah, it was fun seeing Travis there, of course. He's a changed man now. He got bankroll. Baby. It was cool being able to see him. Being on the stage, being able to take a picture, because it started in Jackson State. And just an idea, just a thought. It was just cool to see me and Travis, actually have NFL jerseys.
They say you were trying to steal your jersey, though. I seen a video.
Oh, when I was trying to steal my jersey?
Yeah.
I took the jersey. I didn't think it was a problem. And they yelled over the intercom, "Everybody return your jerseys." I said, well, let me return this jersey.
The money doesn't simply disappear into the NFL's revenue-sharing spreadsheets each time a Shedeur Sanders jersey is purchased. He gets it that NFL players, meanwhile, are waking up and thinking, wait, we can do that? Because up until now, the league has been waltzing off with file minong while they have been receiving crumbs from the merchandising smorgasbord, Shedeur's agreement.
Keeping quiet, working, minding his business, driving the speed limit hopefully, and doing everything he needs to do to prepare for this upcoming season. And the people have decided that he deserves to be on top. If public opinion is everything, this just told you everything that you need to know. Because the NFL can punish you for public opinion, but they won't reward you for it.
Here's how it typically operates. After the league, team, sponsors, and 7 tiers of intermediaries receive their part of jersey revenue, players receive a tiny percentage, around the size of a Costco sample. It's the monetary equal of being able to smell and watch your grandmother prepare cookies. However, Shedeur stole the entire rack after breaking the vending machine. He stated, "Actually, I'll take lifetime royalties and a seat at the board meeting, rather than giving up his rights for a one-time bag. Thank you." The owners began to worry at that point since Shedeur had not just struck a contract. He created a blueprint. A blueprint for a player-first league that defies lawyers. Every other college celebrity with a mediocre Instagram following is suddenly glancing at this and thinking, oh, it's possible. Rookies are now discussing more than just their 40-yard dash times. They have spent $250 million on ships named after their third wives, parking lots, and punters. They were shaken by the oligarchy structure, equity, ownership, and holy territory.
This is what Shedeur just did. I mean, I'm sorry, but that's what he said. $250 million in jersey sales. Most popular rookie jersey since his pops, Coach Prime, Deion Prime Sanders. $15 million or so in commission from them jersey sales. This is a perfect example of what's for you is for you, and they can't take it away. He's still gonna make the Browns. He's still gonna end up being a starter. He's still gonna end up getting a huge contract in a few years. But he already making more money than some of the dudes that's been in the league for years.
Because if Shedeur already has ownership of his jersey rights, what will happen if other people begin to demand equity in their name, likeness, and image after being drafted? When athletes decline to give their souls to the NFL merchandise machine, what happens? What happens if the machine malfunctions and the players begin using Shopify to print their own t-shirts, earning more money in a week than the league does in a season? Don't assume that the proprietors were unaware of the term associated with this movement. First equity. Yes, it is correct. Like Coach Prime, Shedeur Sanders, and the man who made Colorado the center of attention, media attention, and mayhem for a single fall season. This was more than just a commercial decision. It was a prime-time production. Shedeur didn't happen upon this by accident. This was engineered and taught. Shedeur did not enter the draft with anxious handshakes and big eyes. He entered the room like a real estate buyer. Is he wearing cufflinks with his own logo on them? The proprietors were nearly whispering to each other.
Because of Shedeur Sanders' brand, he has implemented an entirely new clause for NFL contracts called the prime equity. And in this clause, he gets a percentage of everything that the Browns make off of his image and his likeness. This includes a certain amount when it comes to jerseys, merchandise. He also owns all of his content. So whether that's digital, whether that is, streaming media, whatever it is, docuseries, social media, he owns it. This is legendary. And the fact that it's called the prime equity clause.
Even veterans are gawking in shock. How can this child get executive powers without going through the rookie hazing? Perhaps Shedeur's disinterest in the traditional order is the reason wasn't standing in line to be admitted into the system. He brought his own. The fallout has now started. Attorneys looking up, can we stop players from owning their own names? At emergency meetings, according to reports, a few executives had to be persuaded off the edge of their opulent rooms. They were ready for young brilliance. For youthful tycoons, they were unprepared. Because they are aware of what will happen next, the old guard is afraid. Newcomers are observing. Phenoms from high school are observing. Because Shedeur shown that you can be both the talent and the ruler, every elite athlete who ever questioned whether they had to give up control in order to wear a jersey is now reconsidering everything. Agents are no longer offering signing bonuses. The floodgates were opened as soon as college athletes began making money. Shedeur, however, kicked them off the hinges. He changed expectations rather than merely signing a contract.
Shedeur Sanders just made history with the #1 selling jersey for a 5th-round draft pick. Shedeur, we're doing it for Shedeur Sanders, guys, because what happened to him was not cool. So we are going to support Shedeur in his career in the NFL. His jersey sold more jerseys than any of the other draft picks. I am being told this. My sports peeps are telling me he's setting records already. Do you guys think he will be a star in the NFL?
Because transactions were deals before sponsorships, social media promotions, and endorsements. However, this is ownership. This is a long-term generational issue. I wore that number, therefore this is what my great-grandchildren are eating. And what happens if other celebrities become popular? What would happen if the next 5-star quarterback declared, "Actually, I'm bringing my own apparel line with me"? When Travis Hunter declares, "I want a piece of every highlight clip you use on Sunday Night Football," what happens? What happens if the athletes behave like partners instead of requesting permission? Since they have always been the product, let's be honest. For decades, the league has been marketing them as shoulder pad-equipped action figurines. The action figures are now requesting royalties, which makes a difference. As if that weren't scary enough, this new generation is well-spoken, media-savvy, and brand literate. They're not babbling through interviews in the hopes of receiving recommendations. They are constructing ecosystems. Shedeur owns the lens, the microphone, the platform, and the highlight reel, despite the NFL's attempts to control the story. Let's discuss numbers. What's left over after everyone has had a mouthful if the typical shirt sells for $130 and the league takes, say, 80%? The player might get $10. Adorable.
NFL fans are boycotting the NFL with their merch sales and saying they're only going to buy directly from Shedeur Sanders after the NFL made him drop out of the first round. People are saying that any merch that Shedeur drops, we are buying from him. We are not buying any jersey with his name on the back. Anything Shedeur drops, we're buying it from him. If the Browns come to a city near you and you want to support him, go shop on his website. And I get it, they want to support Shedeur because he dropped so far. They thought he was going to go in the first round, but Shedeur is charging $75 for a plain t-shirt.
Turn that over now. Shedeur retains 60%, 70%, or even more. Additionally, he doesn't have to wait for spectators to make purchases in stadium stores. Similar to shoe releases, limited edition countdown timers, and complete drops that sell out in 10 minutes, his jerseys drop online. He is transforming his brand into a movement rather than merely making money off of it. Owners watch helplessly as their merchandise monopoly transforms into an open market with no obstacles to entrance. Now their only chance is to persuade the upcoming generation of athletes that Shedeur is an anomaly, a fluke, and that not everyone would benefit from this. However, it already is. Young athletes are awakening. At 16, they are developing brands. At 17, they are signing nil deals. And at 18, they are starting podcasts. They won't require the league to make them by the time they enter the draft. They are already manufactured. Yes, they are collecting notes because nothing is more impactful than watching someone who resembles you in terms of appearance, speech, and play. Execute a commercial coup that compels millionaires to join DEFCON 1.
Now, ain't this crazy, huh? Ain't this about a, you already know. Look at this. They already try to play Shedeur, a projected second pick, not a second round, projected second pick, number 2 overall. And look at this. Who got the top jersey sales of all rookies? And guess what his commission is? Allegedly, his commission is about $14 million. Now, this is 2 times his contract as being a 5th round pick.
Here's the worst part. Shedeur has only just begun. He's not even at his best right now. In the league, he hasn't taken a snap. He hasn't made a pass in an NFL setting. He has already redefined what a rookie may expect. What would happen if he gave it his all? What if he was an exceptional performer as well as a brand? When the box score and the business concept are owned by the same person, what should you do? The owners are aware of what that implies. Leverage is what it means to unstoppable might. Because you can't punish someone who doesn't need you, you can't find, bench, or discipline someone for behavior that is harmful to the team. The scoreboard isn't in yards or touchdowns, and Shedeur is playing a whole new game. It is seen in market dominance, shares, and royalties. At training camp, the rookie class is currently perspiring more than a third-string quarterback. Because Shedeur signed a revolution rather than merely a contract. All of the top prospects, including Arch Manning and Travis Hunter, abruptly stopped practicing and began contacting their marketing firms after the $250 million jersey equity bomb detonated. It was an obvious message. Start by developing your brand. Be selected second in the draft. Don't wait for a Gatorade commercial or a sneaker sale. Before they even put on their shoes, these children want to own the merchandise.
With his personal brand, was able to create, this life, this brand for his family. He passed the baton to his sons, his nephews, his daughters, etc. And they were able to carry on with their own personal brands and their own personalities. I know a lot of us were upset about how the draft took place, but he was playing chess, not checkers, and took a page out of Prime's book. And I love that they called it Prime. I just love that. And again, this is not going to be the first time that we see this. More and more athletes that come up off of money, off NFL, that continue to build off NIL, that continue to build brands in college are going to be asking for these types of percentages. This is literally one of the first times that we're seeing this. This is revolutionary.
Shedeur recently rewrote the rookie manual, destroyed the agency playbook, and set fire to the proverb "wait your turn" with a cigar made of endorsement money. How do I do what he just did? Is now whispered by every blue-chip recruit as they sit in media training. They don't want to know which team they will play for. They want to see if that team will value their portfolio. there are nuclear repercussions. Wait, we don't get a cut of the NFT merch line. Agents ask themselves as they gaze at their contracts. NFL front offices are preparing for a flood of rookies who will arrive not only with highlight clips but also with TikTok empires, LLCs, and licensing attorneys. These young people are entering the market with launch strategy, logos, and attorneys. A topic on stock dilution and digital wallet security may need to be added to the rookie symposium. The league is currently in a state of panic. Are the rules governing rookie deals tightened? Start inserting clauses to prevent requests for equity? Make new players sign licensing agreements that are identical to those from 2007? I wish you luck on it. The 21-year-olds who show up in tailored suits made of jersey fabric with CEO embroidered on the sleeve have to compete with the old-fashioned representatives who used to enter a war room and flaunt their Rolodex.
$50 million? I'm not surprised. And I'm not even talking about his personal website where he sells clothing from. Now, from that $250 million, he'll probably make anywhere between $5 to $14 million. That's more than his NFL contract is over 4 years.
Brands are also trembling. Like moths to a burning TikTok reel, some people are rushing into this mayhem. Some people are ignoring communications as if it were a breakup. Because that lovely secure endorsement model suddenly seems like a rotary phone in the era of iPhones if every novice wants creative freedom, personal licensing rights, and equity. The fans, well, they're going to be in for a ride. Better merchandise, direct drops, and a degree of transparency that the league never wanted you to have, on the one hand. However, team devotion might become more complicated than a love triangle in a soap opera. Do you support the independent merchandise empire of your favorite players or the team? Let's face it, this was more than simply a jersey transaction. This was Shedeur giving the entire NFL ecosystem a 70-yard dime. A message for all athletes. You can become a boss without waiting for your turn. They not only created the brand, but they also gave it a startup-like name. It sounds like the kind of company that purchases your preferred coffee chain and transforms it into a cryptocurrency. HUBT is audacious. It's arrogant. The NFL now has an option. Shedeur just demonstrated that waiting on the league to give you a piece of the pie is over, so either evolve or get steamrolled. The new generation has its own distribution channels, recipes, and ovens. Additionally, they are taking equity rather than simply a piece. Owners, good luck. The era of the athlete entrepreneur has just begun, and Shedeur Sanders is already doing a 2-minute drill on your business plan. I hope you have enjoyed the past few decades. And you know what? He's not making puns.